I'm going to give you guys a simple guide on how to get 100 users for your startup in less than a month. Follow this guide and you can be making the shittiest startup. You can have the shittiest idea and you'll still get 100 users. The next step after that is monetizing and scaling, but this is strictly on how to get your first 100 users for your startup. First, start off with your inspiration for your idea. You can look at other people's startups, which I'd recommend doing if it's your first startup. You don't want to go in untested waters. So find some inspiration, someone else's startup, some problem you're having, your friends are having that you're seeing online. You want to take that idea to ChatGPT and refine it. Make sure there's a market for this. Make sure people are willing to pay. Stress test your idea through a framework. And the framework I'd use, the stuff I was just talking about, the market, are the people willing to pay? Is this technically feasible for you? Um, you know, is this a market you're able to enter? Is there regulation? Stuff like that. Ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT for a stress testing framework. This is really simple, but where most people fail. So get past this step and you're already ahead. Passes this framework, you can go to the next step. If it's not, just reiterate, obviously. The next step is I would map the problem, the market, which is stuff that we already, you'd already discussed, but make sure you're saving it in a Google Docs or whatever, file you like, Notion, whatever. You can look through Reddits, look through subreddits that are relevant, Instagram for competing pages, ChatGPT, ask it to find sources itself if this is a problem, how big the market is, what market you want to enter based on geography, who you know. You want to play to your strengths really here. The next step is, it diverges. You want to be doing two things at once. You want to develop an app framework and you want to be building in public. As soon as you lock down your market and your problem, you want to start building in public. At the same time is when you want to start developing the framework for the app, which is basically how the app is going to get created, the technical part of the app. How are you going to solve the problem? Is essentially what I want to be asking here, and break this framework down into testable phases. That's really important. Each phase you want to break down so it can be tested. This is really important because you don't want to be doing like 10 things at once and then test it. You don't know what wasn't working then. While doing this, make sure you're continuing to build in public. And another really important thing is set up a landing page as soon as you can. In this landing page, collect emails, potential users. You want to funnel all of these people that getting from X, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok Reels, if that's your thing, into this landing page where you're just collecting emails. So this is an example of a framework. It's really going to look a lot different depending on what you're doing, but template plus auth, honestly, auth can come later, but a template just means this basic UI for your startup. You want to do your database and core features. This will likely be broken up into like 10 subphases, maybe even more. For a project I'm working on right now, there's 10 phases and some of them have like 6 subphases. So really break it down in a granular manner so you can test each phase separately. Then you can do billing, dashboards, which is, depending on what app you make, your dashboards look very different. Emails and notifications, super important. You want to set up an email notification system. That's how you're going to convert your users into paid users and how to retain your users. Security audits can come last, even if you want that, just let people hack in. While you're building in public, you want to test the channels. So whatever's working here, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever's working, you want to double down on. You want to see where you're finding your potential users. For me, all of them came from Reddit. None from LinkedIn, even though I was posting on there daily. YouTube, I didn't explore it enough while I was building early, and TikTok Reels was good, but I was having, issues scaling. So it really depends on your market, but generally TikTok, Reddit are the best. TikTok for scale. While you're going through these phases, you want to find your first 10 initial users. Worst case, you get them from family and friends. I would not recommend this because they're doing this as a favor to you, I'm assuming. So they're not going to be as invested in the product as 10 random people, and they'll give worse feedback in my experience. They're gonna say, "Oh, this is cool, whatever. Use it once, then whatever." Um, so find those 10 people, get feedback. Whatever feedback they give, iterate on that. This step right here should be your longest. You should spend most of your time here. Unless you're in a really technically intensive project, then it could be here. You need to iterate a lot. Find out, are the users sticking? Do they like this product? Is it solving their problem? It's really the core of a startup is, are we solving something for someone? Or are we adding some weird, AI steps to something that doesn't need AI steps? If you're not, um, fix the problem and keep testing over and over. And then you want to also set up emails, referral lists, set up a blog. That was really important for me. So for SitSense, I had a blog post that went viral on Reddit. I wrote the blog on my website, put a short summary, and then attached the link on r/posture for SitSense, which is my startup, a posture SaaS. And it brought in tons of traffic. So blogs are really important. Look up a guide on how to set up an effective blog. I can't really capture all of it um, in this video right now, but interlink them, put high quality stuff in there, not just, ChatGPT stuff. The blog, the channels, they're easily going to get 100 users in a month. The month could, I mean, the 100 users could take a bit longer depending on how complicated your app is. But, from the time you have a bare bones MVP, using this framework, you will get 100 users